Hello.
That. Welcome to Beyond the Shadows podcast, hosted by Haunted Souls Paranormal. I am Dan.
I am Maddie. Welcome,
It
welcome.
is September
September
3rd,
3rd,
episode 31.
31. That's
Wow.
crazy.
I can't believe it's September already.
I know, right?
It's crazy.
August and July just did not
September.
happen at all.
No, it just flew right by.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I was like, didn't we just go to a wedding? I was like, man, it seems like so long ago.
I
Kyle's
know.
wedding seems like so long ago, but it was like only 2 weeks ago? Is that not
No,
crazy?
it was not 2 weeks ago.
Oh, it was July. It was August. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I don't even know where I'm at.
Here at St. Louis
Am
Haunted
I even at the
Mansion.
mansion? Am I at St. Louis Haunted Mansion? Welcome back to this, folks. We are at our
Hello.
thing. I don't know what we're gonna do about. We figured out the internet situation.
Yes.
So it's either she's not having enough internet pumping through here to run
Yeah.
StreamYard smoothly, or what. So I don't know if we have to boost it or she has to get a little upper more internet for us to do it.
Yeah.
But we are getting some lag. So bear with us. We are trying um to figure this out and everything.
Yes.
Uh
We're trying to. I have my laptop here. That's why if I look down, it's because I'm looking at the comments. I'm trying to see because my computer's on my hotspot on my phone, so it's on a completely different thing. So I don't know if it's just because it seems to only lag when I'm doing a lot on StreamYard on the big computer. So maybe this might work better if I'm just on a separate thing on my own computer. We'll see. But
we're gonna see. We did some videos today.
yeah.
We did get some stuff. This was a crazy weekend. I know everybody
Yes.
is excited and stuff. We were at Randolph County and stuff. So we will
Yes.
be getting into that episode. And we have some other stuff that we'll be talking about, especially about next week. Next week's podcast is going to be something different.
I'm so
We'll get
excited.
into that a little bit later too. But with that, Maddie, do you want
Yeah.
to say who's in here?
So Susan said, "Hey, happy Tuesday."
What
Jeannie
up?
said, "Excited for tonight." I know those two were very, very excited. We actually hung out with them a lot of the night. Um, so they, I know they're excited as much as we are. I'm excited to show you everyone what we got. Brandon said, "Hey, HSP. It was nice meeting y'all
What's up,
Saturday."
Brandon?
What's up, Brandon?
Yes,
I
it
will
was.
say I loved meeting Brandon in person. It was so fun to Brandon is here, if not every weekend, almost every single week on our podcast,
Yes.
listening, commenting, putting input, asking questions. And so it was just so nice to meet somebody who listens to our podcast almost every single week. And it was so nice
Yeah.
to meet him. So I'm glad you had a good time, Brandon. Lauren said, "Happy
Yeah.
HSP Tuesday, everyone." Hello, hello. Lauren was
What's
there
up,
as well.
Lauren?
Gina said, "Howdy, y'all.
Yes.
Bummed I missed this weekend, but I got to help in Estes with Lauren. That was cool." Hello, hello.
Hello,
Tanya
hello.
said,
What's up,
"Hello,
Tanya?
hello."
Welcome back again. I know who you are this time.
Eric said, "Howdy, y'all." Eric was also
What's up, Eric?
there.
How's that?
This,
How's
how's the
that wrist
arm?
going? How's the wrist?
Eric is such a paranormal investigator, trooper. He's committed because he had,
Yes. We'll tell you about
yeah,
that too.
uh, Catherine. I don't know how to say last name. Said hi guys, hello, hello. Um,
Like,
Brandon
it's not
said
a
it
Kate, is it?
maybe. Catherine spelled Cath. Um,
If that's Kate, just say yes.
Yes. Brandon said it was awesome night all the way around. Good. Eric said
Yes.
still hurts. poor,
I bet.
poor Eric.
Jesus.
Bella Reds Network says hello. Hello, hello.
What's going on, guys?
That's it so far. Comments will come in and I'll pop them up as soon as I can. I know some people are still coming through. But yeah, no. So this, I guess we'll.
Yes. So just to let everybody know,
Oh,
next week's
sorry. It said
podcast is going to
it's
be a
Kathy.
little
I
bit.
was there the other night. Oh, she was there at our event. Hello, Kathy. Hello.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that? I'm trying to think. If was she the was she there? Was she there at the end of the night with the other gentleman? Was it just her and him? I think that was Catherine. I'm trying to figure out who you were. I'm sorry. We meet so many people, and it's nice to know, so and everything like that.
She said, "Yep, it was."
Okay,
Perfect.
so that was the couple. That was the couple that we were going to talk about because they were involved with something that we're going to show and bring up about Noah's room and
Yeah.
stuff, and she was and then she was also downstairs with a lot of the video that we're going to show too.
Yeah.
And stuff. So back to the next week. So next week is going to be a different type. We have no guests, and I don't think you all want to hear us 2 weeks in a row talk about ourselves. If everybody knows, we were supposed to go to, we were supposed to be going to
Melver Manor.
West Virginia trip.
Oh, West Virginia trip.
No,
Sorry.
we were supposed to be going on a West Virginia trip next week,
Yes.
and we were going to have people on about that. That has been canceled, which really sucks, but it has been canceled and everything.
Yep.
So we don't have a guest. So me and Maddie were driving home, and we decided that we're going to do something that Maddie's always likes to do, and what got Maddie into the paranormal and stuff. We are going to actually do we're going to be on the podcast, but the topic is going to be a little different. The topic is going to be like a true crime. We're going to do a true crime story.
Yes, it's an unsolved
Maddie's going to pick the story.
Yeah.
So this week I'm going to read up, do all the research, what I can find out and everything, so I can know what we're talking about. On top of all the other work I got to do this week with another announcement. But so thanks. I appreciate that.
Hey,
I might just have Maddie just give me cliff notes, and I'll just okay, yeah, that sounds
there
good.
you
Yeah,
go.
let Maddie just run the whole thing.
Or if you just
or maybe
give
I should just
notes.
bring Big Red in and just let you two
just go off this topic.
You just bring Big Red in and just be the co-host. I'll just be like, hey, what's going on, guys? Just sit there, give a little commentary here and there.
There you
let
go.
You guys run the show.
Oh no, this is unsolved murders, true crime is like my little niche. And Susan and Jeannie and my dad, we were all in the car, and I had mentioned, I was like, look, if I could just investigate unsolved murder locations or true crime locations, that is my niche. Like, that's bringing my two worlds together, paranormal and true crime. And then I was like, I've always wanted to kind of do like a little segment. And my dad's like, why not we just do it next week? We don't have anything. I'm like, really? We're like, yeah. So I'm super excited for next week.
We actually have a couple. Go on. She's giddy like a schoolgirl.
I am. This is it was 2 weeks technically, or 1.5 weeks, and I had already started in the car just writing down information that I had already known about this, and I'm like a schoolgirl, I'm like, I'm so excited.
Yeah, so next week's podcast, y'all have to check in. It's not going to be paranormal. Well, it probably might have some kind of paranormal because it is an unsolved murder, so murder is involved in that. But
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna give Maddie her little one, her shot at her true crime podcast time.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a little different. It'll be a true crime episode. Do you want them to know now, or you want them to wait and see what we're gonna talk about?
We'll have a banner.
That's
We'll like
okay.
every other podcast we have, we'll put up a little preview on season 2, episode 32. We'll be talking about this or whatever. Um, but yeah, come
You don't want
and
to give it away,
no, because I don't want you guys looking it up.
but we do have a couple. Oh, she don't want you guys to look at. You don't want the people to be involved in the talk,
Oh no, I do.
or you want them to ask questions, is what
I
it
want you
is.
to ask
Okay.
questions.
Oh, okay. But if this goes well, would you have a couple other weeks and later on coming up uh in like November or something that we have some free time? So
Yeah.
we might have Maddie and bring a little co-host, Maddie's little co-host friend in to let them do a little podcast type thing.
Yeah.
And we have changes for next year because like you said, we will stop in the podcast in the middle of November. I
Mhm.
know you guys are so disappointed. You only got 2.5 months of us left.
I know.
And then we won't be back on until January. Well, no, February 1st air time.
Yeah.
So whatever that week is in February, we'll be off. We have a lot of stuff going on
Yeah.
up until that time. So I know we talked about certain things and we teased certain things earlier. We did get the first contract signed, which was the NDA, which was a
Hmm.
non-disclosed agreement that she has with this husband and wife group has with us. So we can't quite say yet the name.
Hmm.
Um, we have a presentation that we have to put together on the
Hmm.
15th. So the week before MSP,
Hmm.
we will be able to announce what we got going on and everything. So I got to work and get this presentation put together
Yeah,
and
it
stuff
is
like that.
it would
So
be on the 17th podcast or the September 17th podcast.
yeah, so it would be in 2 weeks and stuff. But we got the first step. Big things, big things
Yeah. So
going.
if we're kind of quiet on social media, I know sometimes we'll post things during that week that we're or those couple months that we're gone. I know we've done that before kind of a little bit, but if we might be putting out stuff, we might be quiet. We don't know. We might be really, really busy. So don't think that we went away. We're not. We just got a lot of big things
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, Missouri State Penitentiary, September 21st. That is our last event until November 1st. And well,
Mm.
November 2nd is sold out already. So
Mhm.
November 1st. So we have 2 events left. We have Missouri State Penitentiary and we
Mhm.
have November 1st at Monroe Demon House.
Yes.
The Saturday night event has been sold out. It might be sold out if you don't get your tickets. I know a group that was there this weekend
Mhm.
at the Randolph County was like, oh, our girls are going to go. There was like 7 of them.
Yep.
So I think
And
that, there might be
got that
7
too.
or 8 of them. So I told them that they bought all their tickets, then it's over. It's their little house for the night.
Yep.
So we'll see. Get your tickets and
Yeah.
everything. But with that, we do have, like I said, we have some good things coming.
Mm.
I'm excited to tell everybody. So I'm hoping that we get this answer right away. I'm hoping that she signs the contract after the presentation and we can move forward with this big plans of HSP and another company and everything. And it's
Yeah.
just it's really cool. It's going to be really cool. A lot of
Yeah.
things. A lot of things are going to be happening
Yeah.
quickly, very quickly.
Yeah.
They try
It's
to
like
put a lot of things together.
we're
So
at a little like stopping point right now, but if that wall gets knocked, it's full throttle, it's fast. Everything's gonna be popping up quick.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So
and
stay
and
on
and
point
that's
for
the
the roller
thing is
coaster.
it doesn't just stop with that. We also have big things coming up with um St. Louis Haunted Mansion as well. So like it's like two
Yeah,
places that we got big things happen in and
yeah. I mean, we're still going to be doing ghost hunts here for St. Louis
yeah.
Haunted Mansion. We'll be running her ghost hunts here. I'm not putting her to the wayside. She's first
No.
gives. She's,
Yes.
you know, she's always been the first because she's given us our home and everything like that. She's getting electricity in here.
Mhm.
I know that's happening here. I think they started doing that last week. So she's got big things going moving forward this month. That's going to be really big. And I think October she will be open.
Mhm.
I know we're going to be doing, you know, the night markets and stuff like that, and everything. So I know her steamboat, and
Steampunk.
Hannibal was this weekend. Steampunk thing was this weekend.
Mhm.
So that was her big thing coming up that she needed to get out of the way before she started turning her main focus to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be up here working too because we need to get this room finished up and
Yeah.
everything too. So yeah, big things, big things,
Big
big
things,
things,
guys,
big
big
things.
things.
With that,
Let's get on with this weekend.
yes, with that, I mean, y'all see, I got my
You don't
Randolph,
oh, you can't. There you go. There you go.
my Randolph County shirt tonight. I just turned my microphone off.
He did. It went
uh,
really quiet over there. I was like, is he okay? Yeah.
yeah. So everybody, we were at Randolph County this weekend.
Mhm.
And that's what we're going to talk about. God, Madison, it was amazing. I mean, it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Um,
It was amazing.
it was
Um,
amazing night. It's my new number one place
yeah.
that I want to investigate again. I mean, I know I talked to Kate today, and I told her, I said, your building didn't disappoint.
No.
It really was a phenomenal time. You have intelligent spirits that love to interact with your guest and stuff. And I said, and she's like, well, I'll be seeing you again, right? And I'm like, I'm honestly thinking about not even having an event, but
Just going by
just get a group
ourselves.
of people to go investigate because I really would love to like seriously investigate this place.
Yeah.
Um, of what we got from the little time that we investigated, I can only imagine if we investigated because you would get it from like 6 o'clock at night till 10 the next morning.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I would like to get up there on a Friday, sleep, wake up on a Saturday, not be rushed, you know,
Yeah.
and just to let everybody know it, it's a different atmosphere when we have to drive up that day and then do the event and drive home the next day.
Yeah.
It's a different, my body's different. I act different. I'm not as,
Same.
because I've already been driving for 6 hours. I was tired. Then I get my belly full. I really wanted to take a nap.
Yeah.
The night before, I only got 3 hours sleep. I was like,
Yeah.
going up on a Friday and sleeping all night Friday, and then waking up the next day and not having to run around and then really do some really cool stuff would have
Yeah.
been really a lot better and stuff. But I would love to go and just investigate this
Yeah,
place.
because
Just
guess what? We could also hit those multiple cemeteries that we found in the towns on our way up.
well, and I mean, Randolph County does have a jail there in town.
Yeah.
They have a stone mansion there, and then they have a speakeasy, and I think they have like my true crime one. I would love to do. I would love to do series on like serial kill, like not let's say serial killers, because like Waco, Texas. I can't think of the guy's name now. I was trying to think of it. Um, uh, can't think of his name, but that, and then the guy that had everybody drink the Kool-Aid. I think they have his boyhood church,
Oh,
uh,
really?
and stuff that, yeah. And I'm like, those guys intrigue me that they have so much charisma that they can get that many people to do things for them.
Colts.
Like
You want Colts.
cult
That's
leaders. Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah,
cult
yeah.
leaders. Yeah. That amazes
Kenneth
me that
Allen
these people have that
McDuff.
much charisma to get people to drink Kool-Aid to commit. Who's that?
That's the Waco, Texas serial killer.
No, it's not the Waco. That's not a serial killer. It's the Waco, Texas. I can't think of his name now.
Okay.
He's the one that had the whole. Just look at. He had the whole military compound or whatever. He had the compound. He had all the people, and he wouldn't leave, and the military stormed it. The big mass murder in Waco, Texas. I want to say Grisham. I keep thinking Grisham. It's not Grisham.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Waco massacre was staged by U.S. government.
Yeah.
Branch Davidson.
Yeah, that's the group they call themselves.
Yeah.
It was a Branch Davisons.
Yep.
And stuff like that. Yeah, they stormed. There's a lot. The show they had on, I loved it. I was watching. It was a really good show and stuff. They did a 2-part thing on it. But anyway, I'm intrigued with that. But I totally got off topic there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to go investigate. Right. Yeah, but the guy that drank the Kool-Aid, I think it's his Boytown Church. It was Boyhood
Jim
Church
Jones.
and stuff like that. Jim Jones, that's it. Jim Jones. Sorry.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you, Jeannie. Yeah, Jim Jones. If you know the Waco, Texas guy too, David Koresh. There you go. I knew it. I knew I'd come up with it. David Koresh was the guy in Waco, Texas.
There we go. There we go.
I couldn't think of it there for a second. Yeah. So David Koresh and Jim Jones. They had all these people do things for them, like, you know, we give their life for him, and it's just crazy. But yeah, Jim Jones Boyhood Church, I think, is what they have. So
we can make a whole weekend
Randolph. Yeah, we could. I mean, that's cool.
There we go.
I mean, you know. So we drove up Saturday with Gina. I mean, with Jeannie and Susan. We drove up with them Saturday. It was not a bad drive.
No.
Madison don't remember much. She slept. And stuff. When we got there about 4:00. We met Kate and Ted. Ted was there. It was nice to meet Ted from the podcast.
Yeah, it was.
And everything.
We did a walkthrough.
We did our walkthrough.
Yep.
Yes. And we learned some stories that Ted didn't tell us on the podcast. Lulu's room, about Lulu. Yes. Lulu was there when she first got to that place. Let me tell you, first of all, that place is massive. And it's the way it's set up is crazy, because it's like, she said it's set up like a cross. So the feet of the cross is where the lobby is. And then the hallways go down. This is the legs and the body. And then it tees. And then where the hands are of the cross is where the chapels were.
Yep.
So it was segregated building. So the women chapels were on the one side, first and second floor, and the men chapels were on the second side, first and second floor. And that's where the cross's hands were.
Yep.
And then where his head was were the male and female day rooms.
Common. Yep.
Activity rooms. And they were both on both floors. So she's like, if you ever get lost, you know, this is how you can, you know, just think of it as a cross. You're at the women's chapel.
Yeah.
And stuff. So you can navigate yourself that way. But this place did not have air conditioning.
No, it didn't. And they said, what's crazy is, like, they said that they would open up the windows and everything would just be, it would just suck it in and it had a really good airflow the way it was set up. And they had these little cutouts in the walls above where the air would flow through in the room and go out. The only ones that were ever covered up was the sick rooms for all the.
Oh, it was just one. That was the quarantine room.
Yeah, the quarantine room. Yeah.
Yeah, the quarantine room did not have an opening. It had an opening, but it was covered, so the germs would not leave. But back in the day, before electricity was in there, they said they used to live by candlelight and oil lamps and stuff like that. Yep. So they put off a you know, uh, can't think of the word of it now. The bad air that they put off, the carbon dioxide and stuff that they put off
Mm-hmm.
in there. So at nighttime, winter, the wind, they would open the door and it would suck all the air, all the smoke and everything out of the building. But there was no air at all in there, because I can't imagine back in 1930s laying in a room that's 110 degrees outside that limestone building. Ooh,
Yeah.
it's hot.
But
It was a little
yeah,
toasty
no,
in here.
we got the story of Lulu, and I think this is important to say, the story of Lulu, because it's the reason why it was segregated, and segregation in between females and males in that building was such a culture, she said. Um and basically the story of
After it became that, after before that, but before the
it,
segregation, Lulu came in, and then what
yeah,
happened to
it,
Lulu became segregation, and then they tried to return it back to just co-ed, and they said no, they didn't like it that way. That it was such a, like you said, it was such a the segregation was such a big thing to them that they didn't want to change it back to just being,
yeah.
a normal women with, men next door or whatever, because men were on one side and the women were on the other side, and it was a pretty
Hmm.
thick wall in between.
Yeah. um
So Lulu came there when she was 14. They don't know where her mom was, but Lulu showed up with her stepdad. um they uh they stayed together. It wasn't segregated at the time, so the stepdad and Lulu shared a bedroom, and they were there a couple months, and Lulu came up pregnant. um they think it was the stepfather and stuff. So the time that she was there was how long, Maddie? Was
she
it
was
7 years
there
the first time?
so they didn't say how, so they said in these 6 years that she was there for the first time. Now she was there 7 times in her whole life. The first time it was six
Okay.
years, and she had 3 children within those 6 years. Um, and they
Which
have
they
no
think were all her
idea,
stepdad
or some other men in the facility. Because
raping her or
again,
whatever. Yeah.
yes.
She went through some times with some bad, like, abuse and rapes and stuff like that. So then the state said that she was unfit for her children. So they took her children, and a family adopted them, and then worked out with Lulu that she could visit her children. So that was kind of nice. Um, and stuff. And then Lulu came back in, like you said, 6 more times. She was in and out of the Randolph County infirmary.
Hmm.
Um, and then she died in her 50s. And they said she died of natural causes, but when they did like an autopsy or something, she had vaginal bleeding and stuff like that. So they think she was raped again. She just had a very hard life, uh,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. She had a lot of abusive men in her life. So, but that was her room. It was all like when she had her babies, they had baby carriage in there and stuff, and they tore down the wall because it used to be 2 separate rooms, and then they tore down the wall to make it look like the original when she first lived there
Yeah.
and stuff. So that was a story we didn't hear. That was kind of cool. That was Lolo's room. Um, so when we got there, we should have started off. We went to the basement first. And we started walking. I was like, "Oh wow, these are all were these patient rooms?" And she said, "No, they were all for food storage, because they would store a lot of food, because there was she said 364 acres of farmland,
Yeah. Three between
something
that
like
and
that.
like
So you figure,
375, something about those. There was a 7 and a
yeah.
5
So
or 6
that
somewhere.
yeah. So that big of farmland, they produced a lot of food, so they had to have a place to store it. We walked a couple of rooms, and then she goes, "This is Ida's room." And I'm like, "Well, I just thought you said there was nobody sleeping down here."
Hmm.
But they used to lock Ida up downstairs in the basement at nighttime, and it was for Ida's protection, because Ida's the one that had syphilis, and her husband gave her syphilis, and she was going, syphilis just eats your brain, and you go, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And she would wander, and it was for her safety at nighttime that she wouldn't wander and get out and get lost in those 375 or 365 acres of farmland.
Hmm.
Um, but during the day, they would let her wander around outside and stuff like that. But at nighttime, she was the only one that had to sleep in the basement,
Hmm.
and they would lock her up in her room and stuff, so that way she couldn't get out and wander. Um, but then you had was it Charlie was the maintenance man down there,
I could
or
not
Willie
remember what.
Willard?
No, Willie was somebody else. I cannot remember the name that they had said for the maintenance. I just always called him for the rest of the night. I called him the maintenance man because I could not remember his name. He
But
wasn't
he was
technic.
autistic too.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, he was an autistic gentleman. And he had what, like, I didn't, you were up there, I didn't see it though, but he had drilled screws, like a ton of screws into the wood, into like the bench and then the archway of the room.
Jeannie said Andrew. Thank you,
Oh,
Jeannie.
Andrew. Well, thank you, Jeannie. So yeah, then we went, that was the maintenance room. Then they went to the one room that had the bodies and the cooler and the table.
Yes, they did.
Which was at one time was the butcher's room, which they made it into a makeshift morgue when they had the cholera outbreak, because they did have an outbreak of cholera there.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So um, they did have that, and then they had the original butcher block, which was an old tree trunk from an oak tree. And
Yeah,
man, it was pretty cool. It was still in the room. Like, this big old butcher block was really cool. You could see all the hack marks in it and stuff.
it was. It was
But
funny.
then we went and
We
saw
were we were
Doris's
sitting there.
kitchen.
We were sitting there. Ken goes, "There's a lot of chickens that died on that."
Ted.
Yeah, Ted. Sorry.
Yeah, Ted. Because I told Jeannie, I was like, put your neck down there. Let me chop it off. And he's like, I bet you he has a bunch of chickens lost their heads on that thing. I can only imagine. Probably a lot of chickens. But then we went to Doris's room, or Doris's kitchen, where Doris liked to cook and stuff. That was all the kinds of things that were downstairs. And then you had the women's dining hall, and then you had the men's dining hall. There were two separate dining halls. The one door led to each into the kitchen and stuff. And so, yeah, pretty much that was downstairs. First floor was, the rooms. Then that's when we saw Noah's room. Noah's room was the little boy that died of measles. Doris's room was down from Noah's room, and he was the little boy she was a lady that cooked but didn't want payment for all the cooking that she did, so people would start giving her dolls, and her whole room is nothing but. Did you take a picture of that, didn't you?
No, I have it on video. No.
Oh, you didn't take a picture of the room? Man, that we did leave her a doll. We did bring her a doll, left her a doll and stuff. And then but there's all kinds of dolls. I mean, in their closet, there's dolls.
Yeah.
The old man doll freaked out Madison in the corner.
I don't know why you put a doll in the corner. It was. I have it on video of me getting. I see. That's the thing is, I don't know if I actually do because there was files. I haven't fully done the whole walkthrough video, but I
She was working
did
very
have
hard
it
to get
on.
some videos tonight for the stuff that we're going to show here in a little while.
I did. I did. I was recording when I got scared, so hopefully it's on video for everybody because I know everyone loves it when I get scared. Everyone gets a kick out of it.
But yeah, I mean, the first floor was basically Doris's and in Noah's room. I don't think there was anything really on the men's side, on that side, because we went down the women's side and went up the stairs. So the women, she said that the women on the second floor were very agitated spirits because of the whole Civil War or the World War II guys that weren't welcome, that were there, that the judge brought allowed to come in there. And then on the second floor, there was the cell and it was an actual prison cell, jail cell, in the middle of this room that had a bathroom and a bed, and it was a jail cell. It was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The judge brought that in from the old thing, and then Champ's room, and Champ
Mm-hmm.
was the gentleman that fell out of the window, or was pushed out the window by the guys when he was trying to clean his room.
Yep.
He slept right next to the judge's room
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and then we went upstairs to the attic,
It's
and holy bejesus,
gigantic.
I have never seen an attic this huge.
No.
I mean, I'm talking like, and Ted wasn't right. Like, you could put risers in there, bleachers
Oh yeah.
in there,
Oh yeah.
and it's just huge, huge,
It's the
huge,
size of
huge,
a
huge
courtroom.
attic. Oh, it's bigger than a courtroom. I would say it's
I
bigger
don't
than
know.
a courtroom.
I've never been in a courtroom. I've only seen them on TV. The closest courtroom I've gotten was the one at the Magic House. That's the closest courtroom I've ever been in.
Yeah, it's huge. It's so huge. They said that in the wintertime they used to let the kids play up there. That was that big.
Mm-hmm. You could
They
play a
could
kickball game
run
in there.
and ride bicycles and everything. Oh yeah, they used to have bicycles. They could ride bicycles up there.
Yeah.
It was crazy big.
Yeah.
And then we walked across and they showed us where the judge did his mock trials and stuff like that. He had trials up there and stuff like that. And then she was like, "So you think you know where you're
Sorry.
going and everything?" And we were like, "Yeah,
Oh,
I think we know
I'm
where
like,
we're
no.
going." I'm like, "I pretty much know where I'm at." And she's like, "Okay, then you go out that door there and we'll meet you down in the lobby." I'm like, "Okay." So we did. We met him down in the lobby. We did it. We did it. We did it.
Well, I thought it was there was a staircase that goes from the attic all the way down to the bottom, and I thought it was a trick question. So when you were thinking about going down that stairwell, I was like, that's probably a trick question. I was all turned around.
We walked across the room, and Susan and Jeannie were like, "We were already here." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. The lobby's at the end of this hallway."
I'm like, I'm so
We
turned
went down the
around.
steps.
I'm directionally
Yeah.
challenged, but
So
it's all
we
right.
did that, and we talked to Kate and Ted, and their lobby was really cool, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we took all our equipment in, and then they left. We left. Went and checked in our hotel. Went to a place called Wing and Rings.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
They had fascinating chicken wings.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we had one close to us. I'm so craving those chicken wings. Were so good. And if
But,
anybody's ever had Ponderosa chicken wings, they tasted just like Ponderosa chicken wings. They were so good. And that, but do you have any comments you want to get to before we get into the other half of the?
Sure. Let's see. Billy Wright said, "Talk to you at Paragold about join us on our network."
Yes. Yes, we still need to do that.
Susan said, "Oh yes, true crime. Go Maddie." Yeah, thank you. Come and watch.
Such an ugly picture.
Lauren said, "So excited for you guys." Gina said, "Steamboat and steampunk are two different things." Yeah, I can't remember what
I
it
know. I
was.
did say steamboat, didn't I? It was steampunk.
Yeah. Susan said, huge thank you to Dan and Maddie. Got to check off my bucket list item. Been on my list since 2019. Yeah, it's been on Susan's bucket list. So I know we talked and she's like, I sent it to your dad. And he was like, oh, I'll look into it. So thank you, Susan, for showing us this amazing location.
I mean, it didn't disappoint her.
Nope. Jeannie said, I love cemeteries. Aunt Kathy said,
There was a lot of weird ones on the way there.
Oh my God, there was tons of them. Aunt Kathy said, hey, y'all. Brandon said, I think Lauren got a picture of the doll room as well. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I was too busy trying to get videos of for tonight, and and I didn't think it was gonna be that big. I didn't think it was gonna be that hard. And then, which that's a whole thing. I had to get a adapter for my computer to put the SD card in. It was a whole thing. And then I was sitting here editing, and I'm going, I've been editing for an hour, and I've only gotten 6 minutes into a 12-minute video, and we've got a lot more than we thought we did. So, it took me a while. So I think I might have a video of it, but who knows?
That's all good. We did. But there is a cemetery on property. They have unmarked graves from people that died there. The family members didn't come and take the bodies and stuff.
Yeah, they know who is.
They would put them over. Are we keeping you awake? I'm just asking for a friend.
They know who is buried, but they just don't know where they're buried at. That was
right. They don't know who's buried in what part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's kind of hard to tell now. I mean, they're all bones, and so.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said they know who's buried over there, but they just don't know who's buried where.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part because it's unmarked and stuff. So.
Yeah. So we did all of our stuff before our, per usual, going to Walmart, everything like that. And then we came back and we were checking in our gas.
Which I have
everything,
to say that Walmart was not weird. There were some normal people at that Walmart.
Yeah.
We've come across some weird people at Walmarts. That's just saying. Walmart was normal.
So we checked in our guests, everything like that. And then we decided that I made the decision. I said, I'll go in the basement.
Yeah, I was being nice again and thought, oh, maybe Maddie will do, because I know she normally likes to do Estes and that. So I was like,
Phasmabox, yeah. That's my thing.
And Phasmabox. And they had said that they get really good, like rim or flashlight and trigger objects down in the kitchen and Doris's kitchen and stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm probably going to be down there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what are you going to do, Maddie? And she's like, well, I thought I'd take trigger objects and go downstairs to the basement. And I'm like, really? I had to go up to I had to climb 2 flights of stairs and go up to the attic. I'm like, whatever. So, yeah, I did Phasmabox and Estes upstairs in the attic.
Yeah, and I did the trigger objects in Doris's kitchen. And I will say, I don't know if it's just I couldn't talk. Sorry for those people that were at the event. I could not speak at all. I don't know if it's just because it's been a while since I did trigger objects. I think it was that, but also I just could not talk. It was, I was like, it was bad. But we got through it. We got some really good action down there. The first time we were talking to Doris, and it seemed like we were talking to 3, seemed like we were talking to we were talking to Andrew, Doris, and Ida. Seems like we were talking to those 3 in the beginning, and then we were getting some really good, intelligent flashlight work. And then we had the tripwire halfway into the refrigerator and halfway out, kind of laying down. And we were getting some tripwire action and some flashlight responses. They were really good. And everyone seemed to really like it. And then the second time when we switched, we weren't getting anything. And I felt really bad because I started calling her Dolores, and then so did everybody else. So I don't know if she got mad at us, and that's why she just wasn't talking. But I decided, since we weren't really getting any action in the kitchen anymore, I decided to put everybody else in the men's side of the hallway. And we're like the men's dining, like you go past the men's dining room and you go down the hallway. Um, I decided everyone kind of line up in the hall, put the tripwire down. I had a REM pod in Ida's doorway, and then we had the laser grid shooting down. And then I was like, I want to keep one flashlight in the kitchen just in case. So I kind of put it on the countertop. And that way, if it did go off, it would shine down the hallway where we were at. Um, and we were getting some action with the laser grid. Just kind of showing people how it would look, how you have to kind of sit there and watch it. And then we started asking questions. And what seemed to really work, and I'm later on we'll kind of get back to it, but I was kind of like, hey, I have some produce from the farm. Who does it go to? And like the flashlight down at the other end where Doris's kitchen was went off. And it was like, does it go to Doris? And it would come on again. Um, or we would be I'd be like, hey, I broke a door frame. I need I know his name's Andrew. I need Andrew to come help me fix it. And we would get some action with the tripwire or the laser grid. And then the biggest thing was, and we actually thought it was you guys, upstairs right above our heads, we heard like heavy boots. We heard 1, 2, 3 step. And then I'm like, okay, was it one of like you guys? And they're like, well, they're all the way upstairs. I'm like, and then in my head, I'm going, okay, maybe somebody didn't feel good upstairs. I know the judge sometimes makes people queasy or they touch them. And I'm like, maybe somebody had walked down and was trying to get some air. And we're sitting there. And I kind of say it again, like, hey, I need some help. And next thing you know, you hear more footsteps. So I was kind of like, well, we'll have to ask when we meet up. And then when we were meeting up for free roam, and I had asked you, I was like, did anybody ever come downstairs? And you were like, nope. And that's when everyone in the group was like, oh my gosh. Everyone's like, Jesus. Like everyone was shocked because we straight up thought it was somebody walking, because that's what we all heard it. So it was pretty good in our it was really good action and evidence in our rotation, or in my rotation.
I'm gonna have to get a light over here, man. I'm really dark. I didn't notice that. I'm gonna have to move that light around. My ring light broke, so I don't have a ring light over here anymore. On that, but yeah, I mean, you said you asked I remember when you came in, you're like, was anybody left your attic? And I was like, nope, no one left the attic and stuff. So yeah, it wasn't us. That was definitely somebody else walking around up there then. And you have to admit, those floors are concrete. So it has to make a loud sound. It's not like a wooden floor. They are solid. So to hear a footstep upstairs had to be pretty loud. Had to be very distinctive too with that.
It sounded like someone was walking on a wooden floor. That's how loud it was and how prominent it was. Like it sounded like someone was walking. I didn't even think about that. For some reason in my head, because I heard it so clearly, I just now remembered that it was concrete floor and that wasn't wood floor.
Yeah, it was. It's not a wood floor, so it's that's a little bit better that way.
Holy yeah!
When I turn it like that, it looks better, doesn't it? Okay, I have to keep it like that then. But yeah, I mean, the same thing happened to us. Like I took the first group up to the stairs, and I know we were going to get into this, and you were checking people in, and one of the last few people they check in was Eric and Becky, and they're usually like the first ones there, and I'm like, that's a little weird. Where's Eric and Becky at? And then Becky walked in and she's like, I was like, hey, I'm like, guy's name went to the last minute. She's like, we just left the ER. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah. And then Eric walks up and he's got a cast on his wrist, on his arm, that they had just left the ER. Eric broke his wrist. He was on his Jeep cleaning the bugs off, I guess, the windshield and stuff. And he stepped down and stepped in the hole and then fell and landed on his wrist and broke his wrist.
He showed me that
So,
picture of what his wrist looked like underneath, and oh my
oh my
gosh.
God. Yeah, it was.
Whew.
Thank God Winchester emergency room was not busy. He said they were in there in an hour and out, and here he was back at the ghost hunt. What a
With the
trooper!
gas.
I mean, as a trooper, he went through. Yeah, he
Dedicated
went through there.
paranormal
So
investigator.
dedicated.
Dedicated.
Yeah. So dedicated on that. Eric had a broken wrist and was at the went from the emergency room to the ghost hunt and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, so I took Eric was in my first group and stuff, him and Becky and stuff, and we went up to the attic, and we were just getting just situated, and we literally just sat down. Everybody found a chair, and it sounded like on the right hand side, it sounded like somebody dragged, like because we were all looking for chairs, and we were like, "Hey, is there a chair over here? Is there a chair over there?" You know, so everybody could have a chair to sit on.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple of people who were like, well, I'm just going to stand. And all of a sudden we heard this like someone dragged a chair across the floor, like he was bringing a chair to us. And everybody looked to the right because we all heard it. And then we heard it again to like behind us. And we all looked again. And we're like, all right, this is how it's going to kick this off. So
right off the
we
bat.
definitely heard noise up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right off the bat. So it made the rotation a little bit easier. But we were doing our Phasma box and stuff when we were getting some intelligent things, some answers and stuff. And then Becky did Estes, and it said it was asking like, what can I do for you? Can I show you something? We're like, yeah. We're like, turn the lights on. You know, it's real easy. Just turn the lights on and stuff. And we're like, he's like, well, I need help. I'm like, well, you can use our energy or whatever. And we kept going. And he was like, what's your name? And I was like, Dan. And he goes, Dan. And she said, Dan. And I was like he was repeating it to make sure. And I was like, yeah. So that was like, everybody was like, oh, wow, you know. And then, you know how we do our little nursery rhymes and stuff. And I was like, and we were sitting there and I was like, twinkle, twinkle, little. And all of a sudden, Becky was like, star. I was like, everybody in the whole group was like, wow. They're like, because, you know, she was a good distance from us, too. She was almost like, you know, like when we went up there the first time, all those chairs were in the middle of the attic.
Yeah.
So we sat there and we had put them all the way out, like where the judge's room was, like all the way back that way.
Yeah, that's pretty much, that's like you're halfway across the room.
Yeah, and then we have noise canceling headphones, and like you said, you can hear the pressure of people talking.
You can hear the vibration.
Right, you can hear the vibration of people talking, but you don't know what they're saying.
Yeah,
and yeah, when she said star, and it was very intelligent things that we were doing. Like they said, the one time I was like, yeah, the kids were up here. They used to play up here, and they're like. And it came across like the spirit talker. We're playing, like the kids were up there playing, and stuff like that. And we really got some, you know, really good in the first one. So then we went downstairs, and the second group was pretty good too. We had some good intelligent stuff in the second group. Not as shocking as the whole twinkle twinkle little star thing, but we got some stuff, and we had some noises in the back, and stuff like that. But. And then we're like, hey, it's their free time.
Yeah.
Any comment?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to. Lauren said when we actually said her name right, LOL. Yeah, no, in the first group, we said her name correctly. But the second group, we were just messing it up. Yeah, Eric said Maddie had us calling Doris Dolores. I know. I kept saying Dolores,
Poor
and then
Doors.
because what I always do is when I do the trigger objects, I make it whoever does trigger objects, it's like a process to like jump people into getting questions, and you don't want to answer, you don't want to say the wrong answer, and
Sure. Uh-huh.
or ask the wrong question, or you're afraid that they're not going to answer your question. And so I make every single person in that room ask a question. And I had everybody asking for Dolores. And it was just not going off because her name's not Dolores, it's Doris. Yeah, Lauren said she's definitely mad. Yeah, she was definitely mad. Eric said I wasn't going to waste the trip.
No, I might as well. I'd have been
Yeah,
there with a
you're already
broken
there.
leg. I would have been out there just hobbling along there with the
Like, hey,
crutches.
I'm going to try to do this. But yeah, no. So
Yeah, I might as well just do it. You already paid for it. It's already there. So
yeah, but so we just kind of let everyone was really excited to go out and do their free roam. Um, and we kind of just let everybody go. We did our normal, I feel like, where we kind of sit back and just make sure everyone's okay, that the batteries aren't dead as soon as they go out, that they're kind of getting some stuff on their
yeah,
own
we always
before
head
we.
back we always hang out and at the headquarters and eat our lovely like dinner snack thing that we usually get.
Yeah.
So this time we had, I think we need to start bringing those on a regular basis. Yeah,
Yeah.
some Lunchables. No, we had did we have a lunch? No, Uncrustables.
Uncrustables. Yeah.
Did you eat 2 of those?
I
By
sure
the way,
did. Hmm.
damn.
I sure did.
I was like, what the hell happened to the other
I
Uncrustable?
snuck the second one in there.
Yeah, he did.
Mhm.
So, I mean, me and Maddie, kind of hung out. Everybody was gone and everything. So we were like, hey, do you want to go out and do this? Let's go investigate. So we decided. Jeannie and Susan came back and they were like, well, do you want to go hang out with us and investigate with us? And we didn't know where anybody was at. And they said, sure, let's go. So we decided to head out down the hallway. I was like, well, let's take Doris her doll
Mhm.
because we brought Doris a doll.
Yeah.
I said, let's go to Doris's room and bring her doll to her and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So on the way to Doris's room, and I'm going to lead this up to a video Maddie's going to have.
Mhm.
So going up to on the way to Doris's room is Noah's room. You have to pass Noah's room to go to Doris's room.
Mhm.
So we passed Noah's room. We were like, hey, Noah. Went past his room,
Mhm.
got to Doris's room. Doris's door was closed. So I looked over and there was a couple in there doing some activity. So we were just like, okay, let's just go back to Noah's room
Mhm.
because I don't want to interrupt nothing with them doing it.
Yeah.
So we all turned around and we walked back to Noah's room.
Mhm.
I take 2 steps into Noah's room. Jeannie's right behind me. And the first thing we hear is like ding, ding,
Ding. Ding.
like the sound of, like a sound of a music
Yeah.
box.
And we all stop.
And I
We
looked at,
freeze.
no, at first it was just me. At first I was like, I looked at Jeannie. I was like, did you hear that? And as soon as I looked at Jeannie, then it played it again. Ding, ding, ding. And then that's when you guys were like, we all froze.
Mhm.
And it stopped. And then it went ding, 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 ding. And it played like a little bit longer and it spun.
Mhm.
And nobody was there touching it.
No.
Nobody was there winding it up.
Yeah.
This
So
music box played by itself.
yes.
And it was so amazing because here's my we're going to show you the video. Thank God
Yeah.
Madison had the camera on and captured this. It is
Which
so great.
okay, because
We've been
can
waiting
I
for something like this. I've been doing this. Wait a minute, I've been doing this for almost 5 years or whatever, and I've never seen. I've seen a wiffle ball move. I still in the back of my mind, I still think someone rolled it. You know what I'm saying? Or I kicked it or something like that. but
Mhm.
I've always been wanting this, like, I've seen the door close. I've wanted to see something slide across the table or a chair
Mhm.
move, something
Yeah.
like that. And this was like the jackpot of it all, was because when I walked in, I heard it and I was going to look at Jeannie and was like, did, did you hear music pop? And then it played again. Like, it answered me before I could even. And then by that time, you and Susan were in the room. So then we all kind of stopped and looked at it. And then it played again for a long time.
Yeah. Because,
And
well, here's the thing. And lately, I've been like, I never want, when I take the camera out, I don't like, I know sometimes um people start only recording like when you're investigating, like everyone sits down, then you hit record button. And for some reason, I was like, I'm just gonna record the whole thing. So I start recording when we walk in. We've just walked in through the door, and I start recording. And in the video, you'll see us walking down, and then we hit because, and you can hear us in the video saying, "Oh, hi, no." I go, "Oh, that's Noah's room." And then I kind of cut out the part. It's a while. We don't really need it, but it's when we reach Doris's room, we look in, there's people there. Um, and so there's not really that part, but then you see us walking again and you see us going in Noah's room. And I have a tendency of when I hear things, I freeze and I don't control where the camera goes. But for some reason it was just knocked right the whole time. It is on that music box. So
so, that I am like a debunker. So I want to debunk everything. So we stomped on the floor, we did everything, and it didn't move. We thought maybe if we stepped by the dresser, it would go off, or the shift of the room or whatever. Now you got to remember, it's concrete floors; it's not
yeah.
wooden floors. So it's the shift a dresser on is pretty heavy to do on a concrete floor.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, well, there was nobody in there that wound it up before we were there, because we walked past Noah's room to go to Doris's room, and then we come back. So in that whole time that we walk down the hallway and come back, you never hear it. It never goes on until we step into the room and like, hey, Noah, and it like responds to us. So
Hmm.
you want to play the video?
Yes, I want to play the video. Hold
All
on.
right.
This is the scariest part.
This is us walking to Doris's room.
If there's people in there, that's Noah's room.
We go, that's Noah's room.
Doris's room. He likes smoking siblings.
Look at them sexy legs.
And this is going into Noah's room.
Is it the big room? Hi, Noah. Walk by it again?
No, it's still quiet.
No one's moving. Okay, it stopped.
Hi, Noah.
Hi, Noah.
We come to play with
So,
So that
I just got goosebumps. It's you okay, so it is kind of choppy because of the internet. So we will be posting these on TikTok and YouTube. So you'll be able to go and watch them where there won't be like you know what I'm saying, because the internet's got it kind of lagging.
no, it's the reason why it cuts is because there was no point in trying to put the video in where we're looking through Doris's room.
No, I meant like it kind of lagged a little bit on my side, like when we were walking through Noah's door and stuff. So that's what I meant. They'll be up that you can go and look at it, but that's the major thing right there was like when we showed the light on it, it was the carousel was moving. And it's so funny because if you watch the video again, I don't know if it's Susan or Gina says, "What the?"
Literally,
like, what the like? What the fuck? What the hell
literally,
happened
she's like,
there?
"What is
What's going
playing?"
on? Yeah, it was so crazy. That was so amazing. Amazing. I need to have that button on a soundboard. Amazing. But yeah, and I mean that was so cool. That was like something, and I was like, "Oh, Maddie, do you have it on camera? Please have it on camera."
And I was like, I do.
I was like, all the stuff I've yelled at you back in the past for not having your camera or doing stuff, and you done made your mark on that one. That's pretty cool. Because
I was pretty proud of
I
myself.
mean, we even went back in the room and tried to debunk it again, and we wound up the music box. We let it play, then it stopped, and we tried to step by it. I know we kicked the dresser, and then it played a little bit when we kicked the dresser. But it didn't. It was just amazing that we're like, "Hey, Noah," and then the music box. Because everybody says he's very active. Like he likes to interact with people with the spirit box, which we didn't hear. But when Maddie was editing, Maddie, you did find something else that he responds to us when we asked him a question.
So basically, we're kind of in there and we're just talking. No, so the next video I'm going to play is we're all in there, and somehow there's like a voice that comes through. And it sounds like a Siri voice. But then when you, in the video, you see you pulling out your phone and you're like, because it sounds like it comes from your end because you're sitting all the way at the end of the room. And it sounds like your voice, your phone, and you pick it up and there's nothing on there.
Yeah, my phone is like off. There's not even like, if you turn it on, I turn it on. There usually has like Siri or Google's at the bottom of it. When it says, I don't understand.
Yeah. I'll play it.
What is it? She killed us. You died because you were sick.
I didn't understand that.
Your response.
What's that from?
Is it your phone?
Do you have like a Google or an Alexa?
What did I say?
The phone's on. Okay, that.
Look, it's on the screen. Look.
Is it my phone?
It's on
It's on the screen
camera.
lock.
What the hell?
I go, what the fuck is that? Your
This is clear as
response
day.
to it.
I don't
was
understand
so
that.
Funny. It was so funny. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Why would my phone just go off? It's weird. That's
so
a weird
funny.
thing. And I've had weird. What's funny though is I've had other things happen with me on my phone.
Mhm.
Like the time we were at the hospital and Pink started playing on my phone.
Yeah.
And I don't even have Pink in my playlist of any of. It was really weird. And I've ever had bad. They're not bad situations, but they're just weird situations with my phone.
Yeah, very weird. But then so that happens, and so then we were like, they had told us that Noah really likes to color, likes you to color. So me and Susan decided I'm drawing a rainbow. For some reason, I wanted to draw a rainbow. So I'm sitting there with colors, and I realized one of the markers I was like, I can't find a green. They don't have a green, but they have a purple. So I'm doing the rainbow and I'm going to go to purple, and I pull back the cap of the purple, and what you doing over there?
I'm gonna show something on my phone. I forgot to pull up. It's in Noah's room. Remember, I had the SLS camera and we saw the body. Like when you're leading up to, you guys were on the floor playing cards and coloring. And I had the SLS camera out, and it was it looked like a little boy was laying on the floor.
Yeah. And so
what you doing over there? Mind your own business.
I was just wondering what you're doing. So I pull back and I'm like, dude, this is a green. I was looking for it. And I'm just talking at this point. We're just trying to talk to Noah. Like it's like he was in the room with us. And so I make a joke and I'm like, dude, they switched the green and the purple on you, man. and I'm saying it as a joke, and you can hear in the video, like we don't even like we had the spirit the phasma box going, and we're not even paying attention to it really, and so you hear a response, and I'll play it.
Something weird with the office.
Nine.
4, no.
He was 8 when he got
This
it.
is
and 9 when he
green?
got it.
Noah, they changed the caps on you, dude.
Something weird with the office. Or with the
That's why did they make you go pee?
So that is that part of it. We didn't even realize we caught that. And then in the next segment of this video,
Replay it again. See if you can play it real good again. It kind of lagged a little bit.
9.
4, no.
He was 8 when he got
This
it.
is
and 9 when
green?
he got it.
Noah, they changed the caps on you, dude.
Something weird with the office. Or with the
That's why did they make you go pee?
So that is that. And I suggest if you're like, I can't really hear it, when you put on headphones and you're listening to it really loud, you can hear it. It's really, I was listening with headphones when I was editing, and that's when I realized it. And then in the next segment of this video is when you mention that you're catching something on your SLS on your phone.
Oh, do you want me to show that?
Yeah,
Or you gonna play the video first, and then
I
I'll show
can
what I
play the
was
video.
talking
That's
about.
fine.
Yeah, play the video first.
Okay, so you see that, and then Jeannie asks it. We'll just play the video, and you'll see.
Did you make the music box go off? That's awesome.
Wow.
That is so cool.
That was
Say
it.
that's me.
Yeah.
That was like a little kid's voice too.
Yeah.
It's mapping something right in front of me on this mat. Like, it maps Jeannie, it maps,
Am I leaning on this webpage?
it maps Madison, and then when you go to the floor here, it maps someone right here. Like if they're laying down playing on the mat.
Are you playing with the cars?
That's sped up, by the way. I know, it's funny.
It's fast mode.
Sit on the floor.
I heard that. I heard that. I'm gonna pick
What did it say?
the marker. It said on the floor. So you ask, are you on the floor? I just see something on the floor, and in the spirit box it says on the floor.
Okay, so this is what I was explaining about when I was doing the SLS camera. I can see if I can get it close enough to where you guys can see without a glare. Probably not. I'm gonna try to play it here, but on the floor you'll see someone laying on the floor
Mm-hmm.
next, right in front of me, in the front of the mat, and then I'll show that it maps Gina and Susan and Maddie, and then it goes back and there's something laying on the floor. Now the mat has nothing to make it look like a stick figure, so it's weird. See, it maps Maddie,
Yep.
Susan,
Mm-hmm.
and Jeannie, and
Jeannie.
then I go back to the floor. Jeannie, and then it's right there, like someone's laying right there on the floor.
I mean, in the beginning, it looks like it's trying to map out the roads on the carpet, but then it starts mapping out the two things on the going on the hard floor. It looks like legs.
Right. And it's just, I mean, and I moved it around and stuff to try to get it away from there and stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's what it could be mapping out that. I don't know. It's just, showing something that
Yeah.
it did do and stuff. But that was really active. So we were leaving there to go to Doris's room. We went to Doris's room. We didn't catch much activity in Doris's room.
No.
We did put some her doll in there. That was the picture on our advertisement flyer of Doris's doll was in her room there that Maddie posted on the flyer and stuff. So we're leaving, and Catherine, who was on here earlier, her and her husband were coming into Noah's room. And Maddie, you can...
Yeah.
I know we were heading to the lobby, and you said, "Hey, I promised Noah I'd bring him some candy."
Yeah.
So you went and got some candy.
I did. And this is the video I took him away. I am by myself.
Oh, you took a video on the way there?
I sure did.
Once in a blue moon.
I am by myself right now.
Like fully by myself. Not in the whole building. But alright, Noah. Where's your other candies at? Let's see. I'll put some candy right here for you. Hopefully you'll like them. I got a Kit Kat, a Reese's, and a Whoppers. So hopefully you like them.
Yeah, it's not part of this. Yep. I'm walking all the way down.
So glad they came out. I don't know if that would have been any good for me. I don't know if I'll be able to make it down there. Yeah? Coming.
I don't remember your name. Hey.
What happened?
Literally, I'm not even kidding you, as soon as you left and got halfway down the hallway, he says, thanks for the candy. Clear as day. I'm here. Yeah,
Shut up.
no, literally, you were halfway down the hall and it literally clear as day. He said, thanks for the candy.
What?
Well, you're welcome, Noah.
It was weird.
You're welcome. I'll make sure to bring you a bag of chips if there's leftovers, okay? That's so cool.
Maddie's trying to feed the spirits.
I am. Hey, not enough people feed a man.
The funny thing about it is, though, is when you got up and looked, there was a fruit. You were like, "Oh, you got a fruit roll up."
I was like, "Oh, I love fruit roll-ups." I'll make a
But
trade.
here's a debunction thing too. Here's a debunction too, though, Maddie, is that you went back and put something on that dresser, and the music box did not go off.
No, it didn't. And then it didn't go off again like when
So-
they were walking around either.
So to me, that's just I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about that. That's crazy. That, I mean, you even like are putting stuff on the dresser and it didn't go off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that should go off if it's something that to touch the dresser to make the music box go off.
Yeah.
That should have went off.
So since we're talking about Noah's room, so we had left obviously. And I am gonna bring up one of our guests, Eric. He is on here. And he provided a video of him and his wife Becky were in Noah's room, and they had another intelligent response. And just to give a little background, they had set up Hot Wheels sitting on the carpet, and they put cat balls behind the Hot Wheels, and they were asking, which one's your favorite, trying to get a response. And it's actually really cool. And then Becky's standing up and she's using her dowsing rods to see if they can get responses. And so I will play a little bit of a clip. They get a little kid's voice in the beginning too. It's kind of halfway chopped up.
It's an 8-minute video, so it's like
Yes.
it's Maddie kind of trying to
I kinda
pick
had
the parts that were really cool. That
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they've posted it on their Facebook. So go see that if you want to see the full video. But here's kind of some spots.
I'm gonna put one of these balls that lights up behind it. Will you be able to make the ball light up that is by the type of vehicle or type of truck or car that you like? Can you do that for me? I'll get the other ones out. Yes, okay. Kind of like a game.
So they're sitting down, they're playing the game.
there's Eric in his cast.
Yep. Eric in his cast. He's playing with the Hot Wheel.
There's the cat ball goes off.
Hey, you like that monster truck? I want to make sure that wasn't me, though.
He says that I'm making sure that wasn't me.
No, I realized here. I just want to make sure I didn't trigger that. Is that you picking that monster truck right there?
So he's standing there, and the cat ball is just continuing to go.
Well, maybe that was me. But
No.
it's not doing it anywhere else. See?
Yeah, cat ball doesn't go off that long.
Was that you that lived
And it's not-
right in front of the monster truck? Went straight to yes.
You like that one? Awesome.
Good
And
job.
it still
Thank
goes off,
you.
and I watch.
Good
I
choice.
speeded up how long it goes off for. That cat ball goes off for at least 2 minutes. Like it just can, and that's the thing
Yeah, the
though.
cat ball would
is
go
he
off
sat-
and then it goes back and then it goes
And
off and
he-
it comes and shuts off.
But that's the thing though. If it was the carpet that had moved it, why didn't the other ones go off when he was sitting there going like this with the car?
Right, because he had more than one cat ball down there, so he didn't
Yeah.
do it. That's what
No.
once
and
again
it
he was
goes off for
debunking the
so-
situation and say
Yeah.
that it was me and stuff. So yeah, I mean, at that point in time, I'm on cloud 9. I mean, my carousel, that music box went off. I'm just loving life at the moment at this time. So anything else could have not happened the rest of the night, and I would have been like, this is
Oh,
it.
man.
I've not as bad as not as good as a ghost coming down and sitting down next to me and having a conversation, but I saw something move. Something did something that you hear people say about all the time, like, "Oh, I saw that ball roll across the room,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, I never see that stuff, and that happened. Is there any comments there before we go into the next part?
Yeah, because the next part's a long video. This is the one I've spent 2 hours editing. So everyone's just saying awesome catch. Eric said Noah picked a Hot Wheel out using cat balls lined up behind 6 different cars. So there were 6 different cars. I have it recorded on my Phasma cam. I tagged y'all in my post. Let me know if you can't see it. Nope, we saw it, Eric.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, they tagged us. If you want to see the whole video, and I know they were getting some dowsing rod. Becky was doing dowsing rods that whole time. So I figured there was something that moved and the cat ball was going off. So it kind of validated our evidence too. But go check out that.
Yeah,
long
before you get
video.
into that though, do Lauren's video, because Lauren was there too. Hers is at the bottom. You've seen those earlier, didn't you, Maddie?
Yeah, which one is for Noah's room?
Neither one of them are Noah's room. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
believe. One is in the play the one. Okay, play the kitchen ones and we'll get back. Lauren, we'll get to your
Okay.
videos because they're in different sections of the building. We had went back into the lobby to check to make sure everybody was okay and everything like that, and stuff. And I was on cloud 9 and got some drinks and stuff. So we said, hey, let's continue this lovely adventure and let's go down to. I wanted to go down to Doris's kitchen because they say it's very active down there. So we head on down to Doris's, and we were going through. We did see Brandon and Lauren were in Ida's room, and she was doing Estes at the time and stuff. And the cab, we set their music box off, so she had her music box facing the hallway. So we did set that off, and that will come into play later. Why I'm saying that they had their music box set up in the hallway.
Yeah.
So we go down, and there's another couple in the kitchen, and we were like, I'm like, hey, I'm not disturbing you, and they're like, no, come on in. We set up a laser light going into the one room and put up a flashlight, and it wasn't going off. We had the Phasma box working, and we were getting some, I think we got like an answer or something. So Maddie's like, well, let me do Estes. I want to do Estes. I said, okay. So we put Maddie in the men's dining hall. In the middle of the men's dining hall.
Was it the women's or the men's?
That was the men's.
That was the men's? Okay.
No, that was the women's. That was the women's. That was the women's because we were on. Well, I don't know which one was because Ida was on that side. I don't know with being upstairs. I'm trying to figure. I think that's the women's. Yeah. I think that was the women's side. So we stuck her on that side and we put her in Estes. Now, a lot of things that happened while Madison was under Estes. Maddie had no idea what she was saying. Maddie, it was so intelligent. I know Cassie was there. Katie was there. Catherine was there too with her husband. They ended up coming back down. And Susan was there. And Jeannie was there. And the conversation that we had with Madison or Estes was crazy. Now, I didn't know the camera stopped recording every 12 minutes. I don't know. So we didn't capture some really other cool things that happened, and I'll explain them. But Maddie did capture some really good stuff before that. So what's the first one, Maddie? Or is it the whole?
It's the whole thing.
Is it just the whole video? Okay. So it's about what, 6 minutes you said?
This is about.
Go on and play it, and we might stop it.
Hold on. It's 5 minutes and 47 seconds. I can pause it. We can also talk through it too while we're doing this. So,
okay.
The first part is me talking about the rat.
I gotta be able to hear you.
Yeah, they found the mouse in there first.
Oh, thanks.
No, the mouse. Yeah.
They found the mouse that was earlier trying to get in a cabinet.
Lift up my feet. I'm like, stop.
I know.
Stop.
Whatever. Doors, you hear? Can you go talk to Maddie that's in the other room? We can communicate with you. You tell her.
Why do I cross my feet like that?
What year is it?
2024.
What is it?
2024.
June the 9th?
June the 9th? No.
June the 9th.
Specific.
That was very specific on why June 9th
hold
would come
on.
up.
Before we continue, I just have to say I had to call my dad 9 times today when I was editing this video because I'm like, what did you guys ask? What did you guys say? I came here during sometimes during the video. I'm like, I don't even know what you guys are asking. Because again, I wasn't there.
Well, you were there. You're just under. You couldn't hear.
Behind. 12.
I'm sped up.
Who's walking?
Susan's her gasp.
She said, "Who's talking?"
That's sped up. There was a long period where nothing was said.
All right, Doris, we're all on your counter here. When you make it for dinner, let's get this out of the way. Give me an ingredient. What do we do? One ingredient.
What's your favorite thing?
Rum.
It said rum.
I asked for one ingredient, she said rum. Okay, can you give me a
Doris
shot?
might have been throwing a little back while she was in the kitchen.
She said rum.
Get possible.
What's your favorite?
Sped up.
Did you like herbs? What's your favorite herb?
Yeah.
What was your favorite?
Back.
So you hear the music box. That's Lauren, all the way
Music.
down the other end of the hallway.
I hear it too.
That's sweet.
That's on the men's side. Because that's where they were set up, correct? They didn't
Yeah.
do
They were actually in Ida's room, which is like very when you first come down, and where we're at is all the way at the other end of the basement. So you could barely hear the music. So I know you couldn't hear the music.
For me. Clear as day. Introvert.
He said that if you usually, if
All right,
you drew like
so-
pictures and stuff like that, he would think you were.
Shy.
Okay, so pause it right there. So the word before that you hear, Maddie couldn't understand. And Maddie had called me and said, hey, what was the word that was said at this time and everything? And she tried to play it. And I'm like, I can't hear that, Maddie. And she's like, well, it's right before I say shy. And then what was the first thing I said, Maddie? Oh, it said introvert. Because we had made the comment after you say shy, you probably hear it. Cassie says it just said invert, and then you said shy. So that was really,
Yeah. I was like, what did you guys even say? Like, even listening back, I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying. Or what you're asking, or what the
But
spirit
it's
talker
funny that
saying.
as soon as you said shy, when you said on the phone, you're like, well, what did it say right before I said shy? And I was like, oh, introvert, because that's what it said. Now, if you listen back to it, you could hear it now say invert
Yeah.
and stuff, but it's just crazy that I knew exactly what it was. And you're like, oh, shy, oh, invert. We were joking about afterwards that it said two words
Yeah.
that, invert and shy.
Yeah.
She said shy. That said introvert.
Not everyone go.
Yeah, introvert.
Who's shy?
Yeah.
Doris, are you shy? Or is there another spirit down here that's shy? Ida? Are you down here?
Well, yeah.
She said yeah.
She said,
Well, yeah.
Well, hello, Ida.
Ivy. What you want?
Well,
I'm like, wait, what? Sped up.
Yeah.
So now you know I'm not.
so if you look, there's only one bedroom down there.
In there.
That's Ida's room. They used to lock her up down here at nighttime because she had syphilis and was just eating her brain, and she would wander off.
Tons of giggles.
So it was like more of a.
I'm not. I don't even know if I'm speaking English. I don't even know what I'm saying at this
Not
point.
punishment, but
I can't remember.
You right.
There were like 364 acres or something. So farm, like, can you imagine getting lost out there? And just, yeah.
So you're talking about the land.
Yep.
And you're like, yep.
Yes.
You get
Yeah.
I love.
I'm listening to everything.
Oh my God.
You're loud. Are you watching us?
I don't move a lot. I just realized.
Make a noise for us.
Now I'm. Oh man, I just lost it. I'm gonna play that back.
Oh, that's the noise. You hear the man? Yes.
Uh huh. Everyone, turn up your volumes.
I say, make a noise for me.
Who grunting?
Shall I do something? Yes.
Yes. Can you make a noise?
And that's the end of it.
So that sucks because I didn't realize the camera shut off. We had a very interesting conversation with Doris after this. It led into I'll have to tell you about it because we don't have it on video. Once again, the good stuff we sometimes don't capture, but we did capture the carousel. I'm gonna say that again. But we were down there, and Maddie was still in Estes doing the Estes,
Yes.
and we had said, "Hey, Doris, I got a bushel of tomatoes. What should I do with them?"
Yeah.
And Maddie said, "Wash them." And I was like, "Where?" And you're like, "Behind you." And behind me was a big sink. So we're like, "Oh, okay." So then I was like, I have a bunch of corn. Where do you want me to put the corn? And you said, up the stairs, top floor. So in the attic, they have dry racks up in the attic. They used to dry their popcorn, and they used to sell popcorn, and they would dry the popcorn up there.
They're still in there.
Yeah, the racks are still in there, hanging in the attic and stuff. But that's where they would put the corn and dry it out. And it was funny that I said, what do we do? What do we do with the corn? And Maddie on the thing said, stairs, top floor, which would have been the attic, was the top of the stairs and stuff. So that was just, I wish we had that. And then once again, the music box went off again. And I think that's when Lauren and then we're picking it up.
Mm-hmm.
It went off. And you said music. Again, the same thing. You said music.
Wow.
And that's when I looked at the camera and it was off. I was like, oh, shit. But I didn't realize it had turned off way before that. So,
yeah. No,
that was just great. That was whole introvert and shy, and how do you just, I mean, you couldn't even understand what it was on camera. Why would you, when you're listening to the video, why would you understand what it was when you had headphones on?
Yeah.
You wouldn't understand that word. You had to call me. So it wasn't like you heard that word and said shy. So, that's kind of the things that have.
Yeah.
So
no, it was
Lauren had showed us something.
Editing that video was I felt like it was in the moment. Like I was standing around the island investigating, because the whole time I'm going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my god. Like it's connecting the dots of like, oh, I remember saying that. Oh, now it makes sense of why I was saying that. Before I'm going, music,
Yeah.
why are they saying music?
Yeah.
But,
so we didn't do too much after that. We were pretty like, that whole session was pretty good. We went upstairs and everything. And we were some of the guests were leaving at that time and stuff. So we were hanging out up there and just talking about, Maddie was showing everybody the video, the carousel, and stuff like that. But Lauren had captured some stuff, and she had said that she thought there was a mimic, asked me if there was a mimic there.
Sorry,
and then the one video you'll see, it will be the second video, Maddie.
Okay. The one with the recorder.
And it's on a recorder. You'll hear it, and it sounds just like Lauren's voice. Like it's asking Lauren a question in her voice.
Okay, I'm gonna play it.
To people. We're gonna talk a little bit, okay? I would love to talk to you.
Did it freeze up?
No.
Did it play on your side?
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't even play on my side.
Oh.
Everybody heard the video?
Did everyone see it?
Comment if you heard the video.
Yeah. It played on my side.
It didn't play on my side.
We'll wait for everyone. But yeah. Yep. Everyone heard it. Yep. People saw it.
I didn't. Why? See, I still think it's the internet on my side. Something's not right on my side
I don't.
because I didn't see the video. It didn't move at all.
So at what point
It
does
didn't
it?
even show. But I've already seen it, so I have it. So as long as it played and everybody can see it.
Yeah.
then
No.
it's fine.
Everyone. It played on people's.
Okay, so that's kind of cool. And then her other video is they had gone up. They were like, "Oh, it's it's getting close to the end of the night." I'm like, "Yeah, you only got so much time." She's like, "Well, we're gonna head up to the attic." So they head up to the attic and stuff, and and then that's when they get capture this on their.
Oh, okay. I just heard a la 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 over that way.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. You hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's people coming up. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. That was not them.
Were any of you guys just singing on your way up?
Are you going like on the way up?
Cool. Then that'll be what, the second or third time we've heard somebody singing up here
Yeah.
in the past couple minutes? Yeah.
Wow. And that's right after he says, I just heard someone go la 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 la.
And then they repeated themselves.
And then it goes la 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 la. Oh my gosh. That's
so
crazy. Wow.
yeah, that's some crazy stuff. So if anybody, I mean, we had such a great, and then everybody left and we left, but if anybody gets a chance, Randolph County Asylum does not disappoint.
Yeah.
I've heard many of people tell me, "Oh, this place does very active," and we hear that a lot. And then we go and we kind of get disappointed because it's not that happening that night or what.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you now, when someone asks, I talked to Kate today, just to make sure the building was okay. We didn't destroy nothing. Everything was good. And I told her, I said, she has a lovely building. Her spirits did not disappoint.
No.
And I said, we had tons of activity, very intelligent. She said, yes, thank you. We know. And I said, Noah's room was crazy with the music box. She said, oh, the carousel moved for you? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, it happens all the time. People see it all the time. And then they had not even told us about that.
No.
Which was kind of cool. And I'm like, oh yeah, the carousel moves. She's like, yeah, he does. So I'm like,
wow.
It's crazy. That's just crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Brandon said a really cool place. I want to go back at some point. Yeah. It's a place that I will
I want to go back to investigate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not having an event, maybe. I'm probably gonna have an event next year there, but just another event to just, over that or next year, but I would just want to go and investigate it just one night, just to investigate.
Yeah. No, it's it was very exciting. It's on our way back, we had talked about it, and it is in my top 3. It is my number 2.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you classify it in different ones, I mean, you have to classify, apparitions, then this one's different topics, and it ranks. But yeah, noise.
The intelligent and the intelligence is what it really it's what makes its name. Like, just intelligent, unbunkable evidence. So as a paranormal investigator, you can't ask for anything more than that.
No.
So,
but yeah, Randolph County, definitely in my tops now. If you get a chance to go see it, go see it. I mean, we've been on here for a while now, so we can probably Everybody's probably tired of hearing us rambling. Do you want to hit the last few comments there?
Lauren said for me it was a variety of stuff. We experienced literally a little bit of everything. Yeah. It has a little bit of everything there. So highly recommend, and yeah.
Next time I would like bring a gavel for like to go in the judge upstairs with the attic. They hit like the gavel and stuff like a judge, and yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go upstairs. It was too hot.
Yeah. It was hot up there.
But yeah.
Yeah, everybody.
Was,
next week, true crime. Yeah. Next week and stuff, and we'll be talking. Hopefully, we got some stuff going on. I know we're going to be investigating this new place that we're talking about and stuff with the big stuff going on. I did already. Well, we did a walkthrough, and I had captured some stuff on another thing that captured that I've never seen, and we got and stuff. So
yeah, to tell all that experience and from
things are good.
And from that investigation will probably be when we have our first available, just us talking after we announce it. Because we won't be able to do that next week or so. Probably a couple times that we have in November that it's just us talking. We'll be able to talk about the building and what we have set up for the building and all that. So, but yeah, that's about it.
Well, with that, everybody, thank you for coming on and listening to us. Thanks for the support. Thanks for everybody that bought tickets this past weekend and everything.
Yeah. So you heard it here, folks.
Stay weird.